Here we got fairies. Not easy to describe this one either, but this is a token strategy. Very similar to puppets, except you care a lot less about your tokens. You're using them for a purpose. You have two main win conditions. You have Amataz, and you have this lady. Both of those allow your tokens to get stormed. And then outside of that, you're usually buffing the ones that you have in your EX zone, or you're playing them and then buffing them and then giving them storm, and then you're hitting your opponent in the face. It has just as much explosive turns as Puppet does, but when it comes to actually playing the game, showing up, and seeing how things go, things can get a little bit awkward, but I'm not really trying to trash the deck all that much. So this deck also plays Sakuna. It was the original one that abused her. You can still get those big numbers, but chances are it's going to be a little bit smaller. But still, super aggro. This is probably the most aggro version of Forest that you can have access to. One Nature's Guidance, that's up to them. It's still a good card, so they had a flex slot and they chose probably one of the best cards in the game. I'm not blaming them. I've played one of these before. It's called Sprite Shrine. Basically, it has a whole bunch of different options on it. So either you can pick, or it's only got two. So either you can spawn two fairies in your EX zone, or you can buff one of them that you have on the field by +2/+2. Still pretty strong. Flexibility is the key of this, and that will allow you to probably kill them in some spots. So then we have Fairy Circle. This allows you to just put 3 fairies in your EX zone. It's the main keepsake of the deck, so that's why you're running that. A lot of the cards that you're playing are elves, so that's the main reason you're running the Crystallina, or Pixies, sorry. It either adds a copy of itself or a Pixie card off the top of the deck. And it's probably what you're doing. And when it evos, you can put something on the bottom of their deck, unconditional. Very strong. Just getting rid of a follower like that is pretty good. This guy is a 2 mana 0/4 ward. With that, doesn't sound all that fantastic, but it gains attack based on it gains +1 attack for every Pixie follower on your field and in EX, so that can get out of hand. 2 mana 0/4 ward is already pretty strong. When it dies, you put a fairy and a wisp, so that's setting up for your end game. If you did anything early game, this 2 mana 0/4 ward all of a sudden swinging pretty hard. And if they get rid of it, you're smiling. So definitely a 3 of. That's why they're playing it. They play 3 Amataz. It puts a fairy in your EX. And give each Pixie follower, so that's wisps and also fairies as well. They gain +1/+1. So Amataz sets up for your endgame, but this can also create that. So this has tap, select up to 2 Pixie followers that cost 1 or less on your field and give them storm. So they've been buffed up. Now you decided to play them, and because you played them, you're hitting them in the face. Pretty big deal. Not gonna lie. Then we got so after that, we have Blessed Fairy Dancer. So you give +1/+1 to each other fairy follower or pixies in your field or EX. So again, this is setting up for your end game. Then we have 3 Chipper Skipper. Cards really broken in other variants, just as broken here. If you take a look at how many options we have in our deck, it's actually considerably less than what you could hit in other decks. But the thing is, the ones that you can hit actively promote the end of the game, which means that Chipper Skipper probably buffs this one the most out of any other option. Being able to hit Amataz actually can end the game. And that's crazy. None of the other variants have that option. Most of them have consistency pieces. So this is crazy. And then you have 2 Roach, another win condition, helps you win the game. It's by itself, it just gains attack, and then it has Rush, so that could be good. Maybe it trades into something really big. It counts every card that you've played the turn outside of itself, so if you played 4 cards plus Roach, it has 4 extra attacks, so it's at 5. Then you can Evo it for 0, really strong, and I'm pretty sure it's 0. It then can use its attack to ping something on the field, so it can deal, let's say, for the example that we had, 5 damage to something. Then it has Rush, so that it can trade into. Notably with Roach, it doesn't gain any additional stats itself, but the other option you can do is give it Storm, and then you can just chunk him in the face, which can be really good. Then we have access to Elf Circle. This thing has combo 3, spawn a pixie, and then buff. So it spawns a pixie by itself. You don't need the combo. Or combo 3, it buffs your whole forest board, which in this deck it's going to be every card that you own, by +1/+1. So that's another way of boosting up and potentially killing your opponent. Then you have this 3-cost one, relatively new addition to the deck. Oh, never mind, it's old as... Oh my goodness. So he's playing 3 of an incredibly old card that I don't think I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just puts 2 Wisp tokens in your EX on Evo. It does nothing by itself, but the Wisps are really broken. They cost 0, so naturally they're part of your end game. But it's pretty strange. I could be wrong, but I don't think I've seen other people play that. If you know, feel free to comment. Then we got Ivy Spellbomb. Ivy Spellbomb's a good tech card. 5 health, deals with a lot of stuff in the game. This deck is kind of light on hard removal because you don't really give a darn about blowing up your opponent's board because you're just trying to kill them. Because it's kind of an aggro combo deck. But it's strong, it's good. Can't really argue against that. Oh, there is a new card for the deck. Alright, good to know. Summon 2 fairies. So he's playing Fairy Assault. You summon 2 fairies, and then you ping each enemy leader equal to the number of pixie tokens on your field. Interesting. It's a burn spell, and it summons them too. It's pretty cool. I didn't think of that. That's pretty neat. Interesting. I placed 2 Spinaria. That is a great resource generation card. The combo 3 recover. Strange aspect of the card, but it'll probably come up. But you're mainly playing the card for the resource generation. Being able to grab a follower and a spell could genuinely just make your combo happen. You could be missing like a few pieces, and this card naturally just gets you that. So that's really nice. And then the big boss, big hoss, the big lady herself, the win condition of your deck, the one that brings it home, Cynthia, the Queen's Blade, right here, this lady, yep. So when you play it, it puts a Wisp, so that's the 0-cost one, that's the big combo thing. And it gives each pixie token that you have on your field +2. So that's important. That's really strong. So maybe that's good enough, but we'll see. While this card's on your field, each pixie token on your field has Storm and Assail. So naturally, if you build up a big group of them in your EX zone, that could be good. That could be really strong, and that might get you the game. So, and then when you play a pixie token, then gains +2 attack again. So these things start at 1, gain +2, it's a 3/1, +2, it's a 5/1. You could be hitting them for 10 bare minimum, and add on a few others, that could be 16 damage. That's no joke. That could be the end of the game. This could happen on turn 7 if you get really lucky. Like, really lucky. If you're just the best player on the planet, you might be able to kill them on turn 6. Kind of unlikely, but you might be able to do it. And then gains, they also have a sale, so if you need to clear out your opponent before you do a big combo turn, you can do that. Then his Evo deck's pretty clean cut. It's literally 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So, it's a nice deck. Again, for some of the other options I've mentioned so far, they picked this deck for a reason. Maybe this fills a spot where hyper aggro doesn't really exist, and this thing is just there, staring them in the face, hurting them, hitting them, and they're mad, they're sad, they're having a tough time. But the big reason is Chipper Skipper gets you a win condition just like it's nothing. That's crazy. I didn't even kind of realize that at the beginning before taking a good look at the deck. But getting Amataz off of that is insane. And you could even just keep it in the EX zone and do nothing with it if you really wanted to. You're probably not going to, but you have that option, and that's ridiculous.